Hello guys, my name is Fireguy and welcome to Fireguy's Predictions. Yes, it's in fact been about 2 Impact episodes that I haven't done a hot fire on. Plainly for the only reason that I didn't do it was just because the episodes were steaming piles of trash. Especially the one that happened 2 weeks ago. The one that aired this week, the Go Home show for Bound for Glory, wasn't that bad. I mean, like, most of the show was irrelevant, didn't really build much to Bound for Glory. The tag team match, the 6-man match, I guess you would say, really helped build, and that's about the only good thing about that show. But besides that, I didn't feel like I should have made a hot fire because it just was complete bashing of Impact Wrestling on every level. But now we're heading into Bound for Glory, guys. It's happening tomorrow, Sunday, November 5th. Well, I'm recording it Saturday night, guys. This might go up on the website Sunday morning, so it might be today. Who knows? The joys of the internet. But anyways, yeah, I am going to Bound for Glory. I will be there live, guys. So especially being there live, it hurts a bit seeing all the different changes they're doing to the card last minute. So yeah, for those that aren't aware, the Red Wedding match between Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie is no longer happening. At the time of me filming or recording this, Taya still hasn't explained what happened and why she couldn't come to the tapings. But that match is cancelled. Hopefully they do something to fill in the time, because for the card that they have now, I feel is suitable, but there's not enough matches, I feel like, to fill in the 3 hours. So unless they throw in like a talk segment in there, which would be pretty boring. So hopefully they throw in another match in there. I don't know what they would do, but anyways, so yeah, a few other changes to the card that I'll get to soon, and lots of releases have been happening. But this isn't the point of the episode of this video, guys. This is a predictions video. So basically what I'll be doing is I will be giving you my predictions for this Bound for Glory card. I will be talking a bit about what happened before, which led to this match, and I'll predict what will happen afterwards, after Bound for Glory. What's going to be happening in the subsequent, with the tapings afterwards, with the talent involved in each match. So let's start off with the first match, and the match I feel like the people are least interested in. It's Team Impact versus Team AAA. EC3, Eddie Edwards and James Storm versus El Hijo del Fantasma, Pagano and Tejano. Basically how this feud came to life was EC3 had a Grand Championship match against Fantasma. Was a really close match as always. Pagano debuted in a very weak debut, interfered. Eddie Edwards came in for the save. Then they started feuding, those four. Then the heels, AAA, got the upper hand on the faces. James Storm came in for the save. Tejano got involved, and they've just had a bunch of different matches since then, with no real motivation behind the hatred, besides the fact that Impact is defending their territory from the intruders, which is AAA. So it is a suitable storyline. It is promotion versus promotion, so there is no need for anything extra to the storyline. So I'm not going to bash it on that behalf. The build to it was decent. I do admit though that this match, out of all the matches on the card, this match should have had a gimmick to it, like maybe an elimination match, just because we've seen this before. I'm pretty sure we've seen this, a 6-man tag or a tag team match or a 5-way match. We've seen all these variations of the match done before, so why would we care more for this match than all the other times they've met face to face? But regardless, my prediction for this match this is one of the easiest to predict. Team Impact will obviously win. This is Bound for Glory, and this is Impact's territory. The Intruders never win an invasion storyline. Like, come on, especially at the end point like that. Of course they'll win, but once it comes to the big end match, obviously the Intruders will lose here. So yeah, EC3, Eddie Edwards, and James Storm win. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with these talents afterwards. Definitely, I feel like EC3 and maybe Phantasma should keep their feud going, as Phantasma is a great in-ring worker, and he could definitely help in the Grand Championship division. EC3 hasn't defended his title in a few weeks now. The Grand Championship is almost forgotten, but that's happened to every mid-card belt that's been invented in TNA history in a few years. So yeah. But for the rest, I really don't know. James Storm's contract's coming up soon, so who knows if he's even staying with the company. Eddie Edwards, I don't know who he would feud with. Maybe have a singles feud with Tejano or Pagano, but that could maybe be something for James Storm too. James Storm the feud with Tejano about who's the best cowboy, even though that's been integrated in the feud this far. But yeah, I really don't see where the rest of the talent could be used. Hell, I bet you in a few months from now, all the AAA guys are going to be gone anyway. So I'm not bashing. I'm just saying like that's realistically probably what's going to happen. So yeah, this definitely is hard to predict on what's going to be happening afterwards with these people. They definitely deserve a lot more, especially the Team Impact guys. But definitely on Team AAA, Phantasma definitely deserves to be pushed up the card, as he's a great worker. Meanwhile, Pagano, I guess they could use him to like help have a few more hardcore matches. You know, he's just a hardcore wrestler. So yeah, let's move on to a hardcore match. Abyss versus Grado in a Monsters Ball match. If Grado loses, he doesn't get his visa and he must leave USA, so that means leave Impact Wrestling. So I don't know what they're gonna do here. Basically, I'll just go over what happened to lead up to the storyline. Grado is about to leave America. His visa was expired, or the paperwork wasn't filed properly or something. I don't remember the excuse he used. And then Joseph Park came along and he said, hey, we opened a new sports division at Parks and Parks, and you'll be our employee and we'll sponsor your visa. And Grado obviously accepts because he wants to wrestle in America. And Joseph Park starts abusing of Grado, as Grado's really successful and he's making lots of money, but Joseph Park keeps a big chunk of the money. And Grado, obviously, he's a bit stupid, so it takes him a while to figure it out, but he does figure it out. Then they meet face to face in the ring, and Joseph Park's like, I guess you didn't read the fine print of the contract. And then Joseph Park challenges Grado to a match. Grado signs, and of course he doesn't read the fine print again, and we find out it's a Monsters Ball match, and it's not against Joseph Park, it's against Abyss, his brother, the same person. But anyways, so yeah, for this match, it's definitely interesting to see what they're gonna do here. Like, obviously, if this happened in the States, it'd obviously be Abyss, but could they go with the cheeky writing of Grado loses but doesn't leave the country because he's not in the USA? We're in Canada now. But then that would make sense with the visa side, because it's all the same thing at the end of the day. But the stipulation, it's clearly being booked as he loses his visa and must leave the USA, leave the States. But we're no longer in the States for this show and the tapings afterwards, so they might go with the cheeky writing like that. But my best bet is that Grado wins. When's the last time Abyss has ever won a Monsters Ball? Let's be honest here. But yeah, afterwards, really, for this match, I don't think there's going to be much for these two people afterwards. Abyss was being used lots because he was part of the Decay, but now that he's back, who knows, he might go back to the Joseph Park gimmick afterwards, because it's still Joseph Park and Abyss are two different people, right? So just for this match, Abyss is in the mat, like Abyss is appearing on TV, but maybe the next week he'll be back as Joseph Park, and he'll be super mad at Grado, who knows. This feud might continue afterwards, hopefully it doesn't, but if they don't continue the feud, I don't see anything being done with Grado or Abyss or Joseph Park afterwards. Now let's move on to the next match here. It's a 6 sides of steel tag team match between Moose and Stephen Bonner versus Lashley and King Mo. So this is the first time in quite a while that we've seen King Mo in Impact Wrestling. He did wrestle for Impact a few times on and off. He's mentioned multiple times though that he's always wanted and he's always been willing to return to wrestling. He's just too busy training for the MMA side of things, since he is principally an MMA fighter. So how this feud came to life, this feud, man, it was, let's just say people weren't impressed with this storyline at the start, and people still aren't impressed with the storyline. Lashley got mad because Moose eliminated him at the Triple Mania Battle Royale. Lashley said he would quit wrestling. Then his American Top Team trainer Dan Lambert got involved with his goons, and they're trying to convince Lashley to leave Impact Wrestling. Meanwhile, Impact was trying to convince Lashley to stay, and it was a battle between keeping Lashley with Impact or making him quit professional wrestling and making MMA his full-time job. And obviously, in the end, Lashley picked MMA, but Jim Cornette told him, okay, you can leave Impact, but go down to the ring right now and solve your problems with Moose. They fight, and obviously now Lashley wants to fight again because he wants to finish his feud with the Moose. So, and after that happened, Moose went to the American Top Team Training Center because he lost that little fight they had, and then he thought that he could take on all American Top Team at one time. Obviously got his ass kicked, but the second time he came prepared. He brought the American Psycho Stephen Bonner. He's another MMA fighter. They trashed the place, stole the titles. Then Dan Lambert got really mad and challenged Moose and Stephen Bonner to a tag team match against Lashley and King Mo. And with the stipulation of this not being a wrestling match, but more so of a fight. And then they fought yet again, and then Moose made it a 6 sides of steel match. So this match, obviously, this is a typical case of the underdog faces versus the heels. The underdog faces are gonna win here. What's more interesting about this match is seeing how well Stephen Bonner and King Mo do in the ring. So King Mo has proven that he's rather a decent hand inside the ring. We've seen him wrestle before in Impact Wrestling if you've been watching Impact for that long. Stephen Bonner is a whole other ball game. Definitely interesting that they've teamed up Moose with another newcomer. If you guys remember Slammiversary, I don't remember the name of the guy, but he also had the football athlete, and he took on Eli Drake and Chris Adonis. So I don't know if they keep pairing Moose with these new guys because Moose is just a good mentor in that way. I don't know. I don't personally know Moose, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if he's really a great guy in that sense. He probably is, but I mean, like, it's definitely interesting to see that Moose is always paired up with the new guys, and if we can assume based off of the performance of the football guy at Slammiversary, Stephen Bonner probably will do quite well since he does have the MMA background, so usually it's a bit easier to get in to wrestle usually. So back to the prediction. The faces here are going to win, Moose and Stephen Bonner. But afterwards, I feel like this is not going to be the end of the feud, obviously, which will piss a few people off. Me at the start, I hated the feud, kind of like the Abyss and Grado storyline. But near the end, I kind of got into it. The Abyss versus Grado storyline, more so because of the double crossing and Joseph Park being a bit of a heel. And this tag team match because of Dan Lambert's mic work. But yeah, afterwards, I feel like, like I said, the feud's going to continue. Lashley's going to be like, after Lashley lost, he's obviously going to not want to do MMA anymore. He's going to want to go back to pro wrestling full force and piss off and try and destroy Moose once and for all. And it might lead to another match at, Lethal Lockdown. Anthem didn't want to do more pay-per-views more often now, so maybe we'll see a Lethal Lockdown this year, and maybe this is going to be one of the matches that'll be on the card. But yeah, definitely for sure, I don't see this feud stopping. I mean, afterwards, King Mo and Stephen Bonner are probably not going to be involved, but it's definitely going to be between Moose and Lashley afterwards. Now on to the next match, and here's where I get a little personal bias here. It's the Impact X Division Championship 6-way match. Trevor Lee, the champion, defending against Desmond Xavier, Matt Sydal, Petey Williams, Sanjay Dutt, and Garza Jr. So originally this was supposed to be an Ultimate X match, or that's what was put in the spoilers and the dirt sheets and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like Impact is promoting it like that anymore. So definitely, I'm personal bias because I am attending the show. If I would have seen it on TV, I would have been like, oh, cool, another Ultimate X match that has no build to it. Oh, cool, another multi-man match that's no build to it. But now that I'm going to see it live, seeing an Ultimate X match live, that it's normal to be a bit biased and be like, oh shit, I could have seen an Ultimate X match live. It's always a bit cooler to see a match like that live, even though it has no build. But yeah, so maybe they might do like a little swerve the last minute and do an Ultimate X match. But now that I think about it, the venue they're at, the Aberdeen Pavilion, I'm not sure if it could take the Ultimate X. Like, I know in Orlando they have like the structure hanging from the roof, right? And they bring it down, I'm pretty sure. But Aberdeen, there's no roof or there's no mechanical system up there to bring the top down, with the ropes. So who knows? Maybe they could do a swerve at the last minute. Honestly, they might do it because the Red Wedding match was canceled. Maybe they keep the attention like still there for the show. But who knows? At this point, it's just a 6-way match, which is fine. It'll be a good opener, fast-paced action to get everyone involved. It's always going to be good. But here, it's going to be definitely interesting to call who wins. Definitely with these matches, it's harder to call since they're random, and there's been more build to this match. Basically, what led up to this match was everyone wanted a title shot. It's as simple as that. Minus Garza Jr. I don't know why Garza Jr. is in that match, but anyways. Desmond Xavier, Matt Sydal, Petey Williams, and Sanjay Dutt have all said that they wanted title shots. They've all won a few matches to prove that they deserve a title shot, so they're all getting a title shot at the same time. So yeah, Garza Jr., I don't know why he's in this match. It seems like Impact see something in Garza Jr. He was in the main event scene for a while, competing with Johnny Impact, the #1 contendership and all that. And now he's just randomly put in this X Division match just so he could be on the Bound for Glory card, since it seems like they see something in Garza. But yeah, for this match, obviously I want Desmond to win. I've been a big advocate of Desmond ever since he debuted in Impact, really. He's just Ricochet's little brother, like I like to call him. So hopefully he wins. He's probably not going to win with the addition of Garza Jr. in this match. I feel like Garza Jr. might pick up the win since it seems like Impact sees something in Garza Jr., like I've mentioned already. So I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up the victory. But it'll be interesting to see if Caleb Conley and Andrew Everett are going to get involved in this match in any way. But afterwards, for this match, it's the X Division. They're all going to go their separate ways. The two of the people in this match are going to feud for the title. The others are just going to be forgotten until it's their turn to feud for the title or have a random title shot on Impact, like the X Division always is. So now on to the next match, and this match has not a huge stipulation, but it has it's been hinting to a huge debut in Impact. It's the Impact World Tag Team Championship match as OVE, Ohio versus Everything, defend their titles against LAX in a 51-50 street fight. So how this match came to life was OVE debuted at Slammiversary or Destination X. I'm mind blanking hardcore right now. But anyways, they debuted around that time. They were successful in their debut in the matches afterwards, and then they asked for a title shot. LAX was like, sure, but you have to do it in the Crash. And then they went down to the Crash promotion in Mexico. They got screwed over, and it was a four-way tag match, and they lost. And then they asked for a rematch, and they got beat down. And then OVE chased LAX around. LAX gave them the rematch at the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. OVE picked up the win out of nowhere, and then LAX have been on a rampage for revenge, and they challenged OVE to a 51-50 street fight, which means all of LAX practically versus OVE, since anything goes in a street fight. But here's where big things turn. It wasn't this week's episode, but last week's episode, they hinted towards the debut of Sami Callihan. So for those who don't know Sami Callihan, he's Jeremiah Crane in Lucha Underground, and I am a big fan of Jeremiah Crane, and I am super happy that he is possibly coming to Impact Wrestling. That was a huge hint. We saw his hand do the thumbs down, and that's a big thing with Jeremiah Crane. So hopefully he does come to Bound for Glory, and with him coming in, it's obvious at this point that OVE are going to retain. In the first place, it was a little less obvious, but I would have still given it to OVE. But yeah, for sure here, if Sami Callihan comes in, OVE will retain. So afterwards, this is yet another interesting case, as the tag team division is literally these two teams. Like, I don't know how Impact manages to do this. At the beginning of the year, we had an amazing tag team division. We had the Decay, we had Reno Scum, we had LAX, we had Veterans of War, we had tons of teams, and now we're down to OVE and LAX, since Reno Scum was the latest team to depart Impact Wrestling. So afterwards, I feel like their feud's just going to continue for the sake of continuing, since they have nothing else to do with the tag team championships. So hopefully Impact can sign some teams pronto. That's definitely what they need, is tag teams, and they need it now. Like, seriously, because these two can't continue feuding forever, because it's already starting to get a bit stale, and this match should be the big blow off to their entire feud. So yeah, now let's head on to the next match here. This match also had a bit of a card tweak to it, but this happened a few weeks ago, and it's the Impact Knockouts Championship match, as Sienna, the champion, defends against Ali and Gail Kim. So Taryn Terrell was also supposed to be in this match. She came back to Impact literally for a half set of tapings, and then she's gone again, because since they announced that they were coming to Canada, Taryn Terrell couldn't come to Canada since she has past charges, and she couldn't come into Canada. And same with Jim Cornette, but he's not relevant. But anyways, so Taryn Terrell left Impact, and now we're down to a three-way match. So how this all came to happen was the Knockouts were split in two, heels and faces. They started fighting. They had a six-way match at Victory Road, and now they are all fighting for the championship, which is a suitable storyline. Like, hell, it's simple booking, but it's effective and it works. So definitely here, I wouldn't be surprised if I can't speak. I'm not surprised if by tomorrow evening it won't be a three-way match anymore. With the Rosemary versus Tyra Red wedding match being cancelled, Rosemary will probably be thrown into this Knockouts Championship match, and that's definitely what she deserves. But at the end of the day, I feel like it won't change the outcome of the match. Gail Kim is retiring. She has announced that this is her last match. Impact Bound for Glory 2017, this triple threat match. So definitely she's gonna win the title here to retire with the title. That's what her goal was. And I feel like does she hold the most title reigns? I don't remember. I think she does. Yeah, I think she holds the most title reigns, and Taryn has the longest title reign. But anyways, don't trust me on that. But anyways, but Gail Kim here is probably gonna retire with the title, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with it after. So now the title is gonna be vacant, obviously, and maybe Gail Kim's gonna announce a tournament. Like, we have a fantastic Knockouts division now. We have Sienna, Ali, Laurel Van Ness, Taya, even though she's not gonna be at this set of tapings, Rosemary, Kiara Hogan that still hasn't debuted. The other Impact, they also hired the other Knockout, not Impact, the other Knockout that they also hired. I don't remember her name. Shit, I'm so tired right now, guys, and I can't even think. They also have Casey Spinelli that's also been rumored to have signed with Impact Wrestling. So we have also Ava Story and other people that they can throw into the tournament to get killed off in the first round, you know? So we have a huge Knockouts division, and they could probably do a proper tournament out of that to crown the next Knockouts championship after this match. So definitely interesting. With the Red Wedding match canceled, I'm not they're probably going to give this match a few extra minutes, or they're going to throw in another match in there. But there's really no other storyline that's been happening in Impact that's not getting a match at Bound for Glory. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do to fill in this time. I just hope it's not a talk segment. But now, time for the main event. This main event, guys, is the match I'm sadly the least excited for. It's Eli Drake versus Johnny Impact for the Global Championship. So the only reason why I'm not excited for this match is that the predictability for this match is through the freaking roof. It's 100% predictable. And this storyline, in this match, we had it at Victory Road, so why would we care to have it again? Like, it's not original. So that's why I feel like the main event is probably the weakest match on the card. It's definitely going to be a good match. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, wrestling-wise, it's going to be a really good match. It's just, there's no hype for this match. In my opinion, anyways. For others on Impact Asylum, you guys seem excited for this match. I'm excited for the fact that we'll see good wrestling, but it's not interesting to me. Like, I love Eli Drake, though. But anyways, how this match came to life. Johnny Impact debuted in the Gauntlet for Gold match. Then Johnny Impact asked for title shot. He didn't get it. He had to fight low-key for it. He got it. Challenged Eli Drake at Victory Road. Lost because of all the cheating. Then he fought Garza Jr. for number 1 contendership. Beat Garza Jr. and he's number 1 contender again. And he's challenging Eli Drake for the rematch at Bound for Glory. So here it's clear as day that Johnny Impact will win the Global Championship and be the Global Champion. The one thing I do enjoy is that they didn't throw the title right away on Johnny Impact at that Gauntlet for Gold because he was an ex-WWE talent. So props to Impact for doing that. They're not doing the old TNA way. So they did build up the chase, and it's suitable for Johnny Impact to win it now. Like, I'm not mad that Johnny Impact's taking the title. I'm just a bit upset that the match is that predictable. So here comes the fancy question, is where Alberto El Patron sits in all this. So multiple news reports have said that there's been tons of creative meetings, tons of arguments happening in the creative team, actually, as to how they're going to use Alberto El Patron. Some think of one half of the creative team wants to throw him in the match and make it a triple threat. The other half of the creative team want to make him guest referee. And personally, that changes the whole outcome of the matches, really. If Alberto El Patron is put into the match, obviously he wins the title. If Alberto El Patron is put into the guest referee spot, more than likely Eli Drake will retain then. So it all depends on what stipulation gets added to this match. But it'll definitely be interesting to see how they use El Patron heading into this match. Definitely with the Red Wedding being canceled, I feel like they might make Alberto El Patron the third member of the match, just so the match goes an extra bit longer, if they don't plan on filling in the extra time that's been left open now since that match got canceled. But yeah, definitely a solid card, guys. I'm excited. Tomorrow I will be there live, Bound for Glory. This has actually been a decent card compared to the last few years of Bound for Glory. The cards have just been absolutely trash. The only thing I can say about this year's Bound for Glory that was in Impact's control, really, because we've had all these departures and roster changes and events that happen that's outside of Impact's control. But the one thing that I said, is in their control was the build. The build for this was absolute trash. Like, I like to call it the BFG curse because it happens every freaking year. Every year, Slammiversary is has a way better build to it. This year, Destination X had a way better build to it. Like, this Bound for Glory had very little build, and the matches on this card are relying purely on the fact that they're big, huge matches over the fact that the build was there. You know what I mean? So definitely, the build is the only thing I didn't find too impressive about this, but the card is definitely stacked. I'm a bit, sad yet again, bias on my side that I'm not seeing Taya and Rosemary in a match, especially First Blood match. I'm sad a bit too that's not the X Division matches in an Ultimate X match, but that's just all a personal bias from me since I am going to the show live. So I'll end this Fireguy's predictions video off here, guys. My name's Fireguy. I'll see you guys in a few days whenever I have time to make a hot fire for Bound for Glory and give you guys all my live information and intel. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to post live from Bound for Glory, as I am a student in school, money, so I don't have no data, too expensive. So, and I don't think they have Wi-Fi at the Aberdeen Pavilion. So, who knows what's going to happen, guys. I might be able, might not be. So, don't take my word for it. So, yeah. Been talking for way too long now. My name's Fireguy. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys in a few days. And for all those watching Bound for Glory tomorrow, hope you guys enjoy the show.